Welcome back and thank you for joining us right here on Daybreak on Trust TV. It's now time to open the phone lines, and this morning we'll be talking about fire disasters, being that we've seen a lot of fire disasters over the years and even in the beginning of this year. Now, today we're tackling a critical issue affecting communities across Nigeria: fire disasters. How effective are emergency services? Now, statistics show that fire outbreaks in Nigeria cause losses of over 300 billion naira annually, destroying homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure. Yet, experts estimate that with efficient and well-equipped emergency services, Nigeria could save at least 40 to 50% of those losses, protecting lives and livelihoods. Now, just this year, 2026, we've already witnessed a worrying series of fire incidents. In January, Single Market in Kano suffered a major inferno, destroying hundreds of shops. In February alone, over 1,000 businesses in Kano State markets were engulfed in flames, leaving dozens of people displaced. Now, Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt have also reported recurring fire outbreaks in residential and commercial areas, often linked to electrical faults, fuel stations, and poorly regulated market structures. With these recurring disasters, questions remain: how prepared are our emergency services to respond quickly when there is a fire outbreak? Are fire prevention measures adequate? And what more can be done to protect citizens and their investments? We want to hear from you, our viewers, this morning, your experiences, your concerns, and your suggestions on how Nigeria can improve its emergency response to fire disasters. Stay on the line and join the important conversation. The numbers are displayed on your screen. All right, we have our first caller this morning. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, Maimuna, Bagudu.
Good morning, Shetima Yakudima.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Maiduguri. This is Shetima Yakudima calling from Maiduguri.
Thank you for calling in, Shetima. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Honestly speaking, Maimuna, if at all the authority will have their own fault, we the citizens or the victims, we have also our own fault. Let me start with the market. If you look at it very well, the way our market have been occupied, even that you are working on your foot, it's hardly for you to locate some areas because all the spaces have been chopped off. I am calling the management of every market to catch their taste and their desire and love for money. They should at least make that market organized, allowed where the vehicle will move in case of in case of this disaster, so that a vehicle can move, people can move and rescue some things out of that disaster. I can tell you, I have experience when Monday market catch fire here in Maiduguri. Even though it was midnight, the firefighters, they have come, but there is no way to penetrate into the market because all the spaces have been chopped off. What the market management after for is to sell the space for traders. And you see, where you can walk, it is even difficult for you. You see, everywhere it was dedicated to become a shop, which is absolutely wrong. And if you look at it very well, even the management of the fire service, it is very, very unfortunate. The money that budgeted for fuel, maintenance of the vehicle, somebody will pocket it. You, the pocketer, you have to fear God, because all that victims, if in case of emergency, the vehicle is supposed to move, but there is no fuel, you pocketed it. And sometimes a battery, you cannot replace a battery when the battery runs down. For you to buy a battery, you are seeing it in a, just you want to pocket the money and eat it. So you have to know that these victims, you have to answer their losses before Almighty Allah, because you have contributed towards their losses. And if you see our houses today, it's a very pity. People, what they are after is to occupy all the spaces so that they should give out for rent. You can imagine some of our buildings. A neighbor can check his neighbor through window. Through window, you can check your neighbor. Hello, neighbor, good morning. Then you shake hands. What kind of pattern of building is that? And you see, it's also our town planners. They have to wake up. Look at the way a petroleum station was be given approval in the residential area. We have to wake up. We have to do something reasonable. We should not be contributing towards this disaster. We have to do something about it. We have to be just organized. That is why we are human beings. We have to look at our geography. We have to organize it. We have to arrange it the way and manner. If anything come in, we have a solution and we have a way out. So I'm praying for Almighty Allah to replace the losses of those who have get lost in this fire disaster. I think yesterday it happened in Kano. So we are calling Almighty Allah to replace their losses in thousands. May Allah prevent the future occurrence. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you, Shatima Yakudima, for calling in this morning and joining the conversation. You made some valid points right there. The conversation is still on. Call us in this morning. Let's talk about the fire disaster happening in Nigeria. Really, when we see these incidences, do we usually have speedy response when it comes to, fire outbreaks from either the fire service or, the people that should be in charge of tackling these issues whenever they occur? You can also send us a WhatsApp message and it will be read live on the show. But please, before you call in, as the rule of engagement, kindly turn down the audio of your TV set so we can have this conversation clearly. Still talking about fire disaster and how effective is our fire service. Before I continue, we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. This is Brian.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Good morning. You see, our problem is that we're not a structured society. Structured society in the sense that we don't follow rules and regulations. In the first instance, let me start with our governors. You have instances where we spend billions doing overhead bridges or whatever they call it, flyovers and all that. But how much money are we spending on emergency services? Someone can construct 1 billion overhead bridge, but you cannot spend 20 million or 50 million buying fire tenders across local governments of states. When fire happens, you have to depend on maybe individuals, organizations that have fire tenders. So you see, our concept of emergency doesn't even exist. It doesn't exist. In all emergencies, it doesn't exist. So we don't have clarity, we don't have agenda. We don't have national agenda or even state agenda. We have national agendas in government. Because if the money spent for emergencies are not there, or have money to spend on other things, then we are all unconscious. So we blame ourselves. For me, I'll blame citizens and I'll blame government. Because if we don't stick to rules and structures of the organization, there's nothing we can do. Even the fire tenders are there, like Shatima was saying, the access to go and put out the fire is not there. Within the residential areas, within our market spaces, and everywhere, it's not there. And if, like Shatima was saying, He's blaming the town planner. If the town planner says don't do this, and then the politician says do this, who overrides? The politician overrides the town planner. It's only the governor that can demolish structures. A town planner cannot even demolish the structure. So we have to educate ourselves and understand that we need to do things right to reduce this emergency. Without that, forget it. We can keep on talking and nothing will change. Nothing will change. That's the truth. So let's ask ourselves, do you really want to live in a structured society? I would prefer to follow rules and regulations that's our existence. If we don't do that, if we don't answer that question, let's forget it. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in this morning and joining the conversation. Really, it is a collective responsibility of every individual and also the federal government to, make sure that whenever there is a fire disaster or before we even have these, incidents, we should have precautionary measures on ground, doing the needful and doing the right thing, so that if at any given time we get to experience things like this, we will be able to handle and tackle it well at the end of the day. You can call us in. We're still having the conversation. Fire disaster. What has been your experience so far? Have you experienced any fire disaster around your area? And then, getting response has been slow. But then we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Good morning. Kindly turn down the audio of your TV set. Thank you.
Oh, all right. My name is Abubakar Yakubu.
Good morning, Abubakar.
Actually, it was terrible as I saw this fire outbreak in Kano.
Are you calling us from Kano?
Yeah, I'm calling from Kano.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, it was terrible. And I would like to give a piece of advice that the federal government and state government will collaborate and provide more facilities in which if this tragic event happened, that there is facilities that will be used to tackle this issue actually. Because if there is helicopter and more tankers, actually this may not be worse like that. Hello?
Yes, I'm with you, Abubakar. Please go ahead.
Yeah. This is my contribution, actually.
Thank you for calling in this morning, Abubakar, and contributing to the conversation. Abubakar is calling us from Kano, and at least he has been able to, see firsthand what is going on in Kano concerning the fire outbreak in Singa Market. We're still having the conversation. Call us in this morning and let's talk about fire disaster. Have you had any experience? What have your experience have been over time whenever there is a fire outbreak? Do you usually get, prompt response from the fire service? How were you able to tackle or handle this issue? Or if you have, a solution as to how both the government and also we as individuals can be able to play our roles rightly in making sure that each time there is a fire outbreak, we don't see, people running haywire and trying to, put the fire out, but rather everyone is calm, and then the people that should be in charge are doing their jobs rightly and making sure that the fire is being put out. You can also send us a WhatsApp message this morning. Now, most times when we see fire outbreaks like this, like the one that happened in Kano and other ones that we have seen in other parts of Nigeria, one major, complaint about people is they don't get prompt response from the fire service. And even if they do, sometimes this fire service do come, and at the end of the day, there are complaints of no water in the van. They don't have, the right equipment or the complete tools on how to put out the fire. And apart from that, when you look at the structure of either the markets and houses that have been built over time, you realize that provisions were not being made in cases where if we get to find such incident, it will be easy for either the fire service or for individuals to penetrate and put out the fire. Sometimes you see that, a city is already being developed over time before, people start noticing the key things that are supposed to be in place in a build-up city when there is an incident. All right, we're still having the conversation around fire disaster. You can call us in this morning to share your experiences, and also, if you have any possible solutions on how we can be able to tackle such issue. But then we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, this is Abasinkong calling from Gombe.
Good morning, Abasinkong. Thank you for calling in this morning. Please go ahead.
Okay, sincerely speaking, this is another good topic. The fact remains that Nigerians will continue to waste money, build edifices, and we don't put structures that will protect them. Now look at the market in Kano. No roads, no access roads. I heard when the Trust TV was putting question. No access roads that firefighters will go and fight the fire or fight the inferno. So what kind of infrastructure do we put on ground? Then going straight to the question, fire disaster. How effective are emergency services? Very poor. When you get to America, they have a number that you can call. Even a child, if his father gets him or her sick, you call the police. Yeah, do we have an emergency number? No. Do we have distress call number? No. I remember one time I was saying that we need it, and Lilian Ogazi was telling me, Trust TV is a distress call. I said, no, Trust TV is not a distress call. There was a time I called Trust TV and they never responded. I called after the show, I called, they never responded. So is it an emergency number? Is it a distress call number? No. So Nigerian government needs to create an emergency number. If it is 911 or any number of their choice, or they should make MTN to get an emergency number, Airtel, and our own Starcom. So by so doing, we can reach very fast. But there is something I want Nigerians to be aware of. How can we put protest? Okay, look at the National Stadium in Abuja. Look at the one in Akwa Ibom. Do we have equipment? Do we have firefighters in case if there's any unforeseen circumstances that can put up fire from those places? So these are the things that we need to think about. We must go back to the drawing board. Americans did not just start. They started developing and then they started making corrections. Look at China. They were corrupt, and they started killing corrupt people. So until we start doing that, we cannot move forward. Thank you, Trust TV. I really appreciate it. Wonderful station. Wonderful Bagudu. I love your team. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Abasinkong, for calling in this morning and joining the conversation. Really, indeed, do we have emergency numbers when it comes to, emergencies in Nigeria? It's one of the problems that Nigerians are complaining of. If there is an emergency, no emergency numbers to come, short code numbers that you could easily, dial with your phone, and even a child can easily, call that number. Hello, good morning. All right, do well to call us back, but please, before you do, turn down the audio of your TV set. Hello, good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Maimuna from DC, Bagudu State, Central North.
All right, please go ahead.
This is indeed a catastrophic situation for all the marketers of Kano State, and I am really, really sorry for them. So what I want to say here is that the president, let me say, the government, the entire government has to really think about it. And the major thing that they should do is I know Kano State is one of the major capital cities in the north, or maybe in Nigeria. So there is a need of building at least a very big mentioned fire service authority, so that they should build a very big place for just
Okay, do to call us back so we can hear your thoughts on the topic. We're still talking about fire disaster. You can also send in your WhatsApp message this morning and it will be read live here this morning, talking about fire disaster, how effective our emergency service each time we see, such issues in Nigeria. Do we usually have prompt response concerning, the fire service coming in? Do we have the equipment and infrastructure in place when we talk about fire outbreaks? Do we have the manpower and, training and capable staff to handle the situation each time there is an emergency? We have Ade calling in from London. Good morning, Ade. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Maimuna. Happy New Week.
Happy New Week. Thank you for calling in. Please go ahead.
How effective are emergency services? Abasekon mentioned something which is very important. He said the emergency number. So the Kano State government, we have that in the Southwest. In Lagos, there are many emergency numbers for everything, and they are very, very effective. So in Kano State government, you have emergency number for the state, so that when a disaster like this happens, then they can go there and sort it out. This is about state government affairs. It has nothing to do with federal. Because every state government must have the fire service working perfectly. The federal have, and they have in each state, but what effort is the current state government doing to equip them, like they equip police, as if the police are under too? Then, what is the welfare of these servicemen? If they die in that fire disaster, do they have life insurance? What covers them? So all this incentive will motivate them when they want to work. Now coming to Kano, this very issue in Kano, Single Market have access road, because Single Market and Kantikori Market in Kano. These two, the money that goes in that market is up to a state budget in some states in Nigeria. Humongous amount of money. Because those are the power economic of Kano in the 80s when I was living in Kano. Singa and Kantikori, these two, the money that passes through there. So, but they have access roads for motoring, unless they are closed now, I don't know. So, but the state government, they should take it serious. Town planning, when they are doing their planning, they should think of the fire disaster. And make sure every shop have fire extinguisher in their shop. 3 times to be there. They should make it compulsory, so that to prevent future occurrence like this. That's what they are doing in Lagos now. Because in Lagos, we go to Lagos and Bagudu market. The way they build the houses is so poor. But the government do something now, diminishing and rebuilding. They can, any Kano State governor have that boldness to demolish Singa. I don't think so. But what they can do is just to amend something and do some whatever they can do to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. And not only that, even in Sabon market in Kano is another economic power of the state. Fire goes all the time, but they review that market that time, so they should make sure it's motorable. Because fire brigade, they also. There's one time, my neighbor, they just moving about 3 neighbors to me, it's the white people, and their cat was on my roof of my house. So they came and pressed my bed that police came and knocked my door. I said, what is the problem? The police said there's a cat on my roof. I said, what's my business with that? They say they want to have us. I said, no, call the fire brigade. So they call fire brigade. So they use the ladder to go upstairs on the roof and get the cat down. So what am I trying to say? Fire brigade service is not about fire alone. If somebody enter well, they will call them. So they should equip them and give them a good incentive so that that will motivate them to go to work. That if they die there, their family will not suffer. So that's very, very important. That's my own contribution to it. So for now, they are trying their best, but the effectiveness is very poor. So that's my own contribution. God will protect Nigeria and God will bless Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning, Adi. Once again, thank you for calling in and joining the conversation. Really, do we have enough public awareness and also prevention when we talk about fire outbreak? Because most fires are preventable. You know, where you have electrical fault, sometimes people neglect these little issues. When you notice that there's an electrical fault either in your home, in your office, or in your shop, you need to do the needful by getting an electrician, to fix that issue immediately. If you let it sleep overnight, who knows, that might be another, cause of fire outbreak. And there are also, some people that usually store fuel in their shops, in their homes. Those things are really dangerous and can spark fire outbreak in anywhere you live in. Okay, we have another caller on the line before I take some WhatsApp messages. Good morning. Thank you for calling in. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning. My name is Munir. I am calling from Katsina.
Good morning, Munir. Thank you for calling in. Please go ahead.
Yes. My little contribution is an appeal to both the Kano state government and the federal government. Apart from the major traders in the single market, there are also petty traders that are making their daily earnings in that market. So I am appealing to both the state and the federal government to please assist the traders in the single market, at least with something before they can pick up from where they have lost, or some of them lost almost everything. And the petty traders are put out of business permanently because of this fire incident. So that is my little contribution. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in and contributing to the topic. All right, let's take our first WhatsApp message this morning. We have one from Adamu Mohammed Usman, and he's sending this one in from Kafin Hausa in Jigawa State. He says, good morning, Able Maimuna. Good morning, Nigerians. Fire disaster, how effective are emergency services? Very poor, very destructive and deadly. He states his reason. He says the market spaces or passages are very tiny and so narrowed, very conjunctive, courtesy of market people themselves. Sometimes the actual design in the first place should be planned well and put measures by market people of government to stop the blockages. Where are the fire service personnel to work in that service? When last do I hear the government is recruiting the fire service personnel? Government should employ or recruit many young millions of Nigerians who look for employment. Where are the vehicles and equipment to quench the fire disasters? The market people should, on their own, to help protect and safeguard themselves before relying or waiting for government to come to their help and rescue. Emergency call numbers should be provided. The incidents in Kano and other places in the past are too bad. I sympathize with the people. May Allah protect future occurrence. Thank you, Adamu Mohammed from Kafin Hausa in Jigawa State for sending in your WhatsApp message. Keep the messages coming in. You can also call us in this morning. We're still talking about fire disaster. How well are you, informed? How well are you aware of precautionary measures when it comes to fire disaster? I think we need to create more awareness. People need to be aware. People need to understand that, there are certain things that should be looked out for critically. You don't just take your eyes off these things. They could actually cause fire outbreaks. I made mention of electrical faults in your homes, in your shops, in your offices. I also spoke about storage of fuel in your homes, your shops, and other enclosed places. These are things that could bring up any fire outbreak. We can also look at also cooking accidents as well. These little things as well can also cause fire outbreak. We need to be aware. We need to be at alert. We need to put structures in place, put equipment in place, get emergency numbers that are prompt in responding to emergencies each time there is an incident wherever in Nigeria. Okay, I think all right, my director is telling me to, end the phone-in segment this morning. Thank you to everyone who called in and who sent in their WhatsApp messages.